Hello everybody, this is Noah, and this is the 4th episode of Bite Sized Sci-Fi. With this small series, I will be talking about varied topics of the unexplained, with the main focus mostly on UFO phenomena, stories and reports, and the need-to-know history of documented cases and confidential files. So sit back and relax and have a snack. To me, the earlier the report, the better. The 1940s, for example, saw many first-hand cases of the original UFO, the original alien visitors. In fact, Roswell has a little brother. The Plains of San Agustin, New Mexico, July 5, 1947. It was Barney Barnett, a soil conservation engineer based in Socorro, New Mexico, who drew the connection between the events at Roswell and a possible second crash on the Plains of San Agustin, more than 150 miles away. The conventional wisdom became that the bodies of the alien flight crew were found on the plains somewhere near the small town of Magdalena, New Mexico. According to the story as told by L.W. Verne Maltese, a close friend of Barnett, while driving near Magdalena, saw a flash of bright light off the side in the desert. Barnett said that he thought a plane had crashed and turned off the main road to drive over to it, just in case. He came upon a crashed flying saucer and the bodies of the alien flight crew. There were 4 of them, lying outside the craft. Maltese couldn't remember Barnett providing a good description of the craft, saying only that it was metallic, dull gray, and pretty good sized. According to Maltese, Barnett told him that it seemed to have burst open and was jammed up against the ridgeline. There was almost no wreckage scattered about it. The creatures were small, with pear-shaped heads, skinny arms and legs, no hair, and small, oddly placed eyes. They all wore metallic-like, form-fitting gray suits that had no buttons or zippers. While Barnett was standing there, a group of people arrived. These were archaeologists. They had no time to examine anything. The military arrived immediately, lined them all up, and told them they had seen nothing. This was a matter of national security and they would keep their mouths shut. J.F. Fleck Danley was Barrett's boss in July 1947. Danley reported that he heard the story of the crashed saucer from Barrett and believed that the location was west of Magdalena, but wasn't sure. When Barnett tried to tell him what he'd seen, Danley wasn't interested. According to Danley, he thought it was all bullshit. Jean Maltese, Verne's wife, introduced the University of Pennsylvania into the report. She had the impression that Barnett had said the archaeologists were from Pennsylvania. Verne Maltese and Alice Knight, Ruth Barnett's niece, when questioned about it specifically, couldn't remember if Barnett had mentioned it first or not. The problem with the account was the lack of corroboration. Barnett told a story of a crashed flying saucer in New Mexico, and Danley provided the location, west of Magdalena, and the date, early July 1947. Others who heard Barnett talk of the crashed saucer, including Knight and neighbor Harold Baca, could add few details. It wasn't a story that Barnett told only once, but something he had shared with many different people on a number of separate occasions. It's a pretty interesting case. I suggest further looking into, and we're on to the next bite.